Alrighty. Woo. Show set. Yo, yo, yo. We're within 100 pages of reading all the chapters for C++ on for Dummies. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, let's go. I don't even know how much of this is still relevant, but either way, something I definitely didn't get to learn about while I was in grad school. So we finally moved on to new things. Something I didn't already at least touch on while I was in the middle of grad school or getting into grad school. So yay. Okay, book 6, Advanced C++, Boost, Inspection Report, etc. Woo, woo, woo. Exciting. Here we go. Web extras. All right. C++, All-In-One For Dummies, can encompass a huge range of topics. In fact, the number one of ways in which you can use C++ is so huge that there really isn't a way to cover it in one book, or 20 or even 30. With this in mind, this part of the book discusses some advanced C++ topics, one of which is using standard template library STL in advanced ways. One of the advanced programming techniques you can use is the multi-map, a version of the map discussed in Book 4, Chapter 6, that allows you to use duplicate keys. You can see a multi-map described at http://www.dummies.com/extras/C++AIO. Let's go. Okay, next page. Woo! We have entered the end of this book, and I am super stoked. Okay, hopefully Ryan is here. Contents at Glass, Chapter 1, Exploring the Standard Library Further. Chapter 2, Working with User-Defined Literals. Chapter 3, Building Original Templates. Yo. Okay. Chapter 4, Investigating Boost. That is going to be all new information. Yay. Chapter 5, Boosting Up a Step. Okay. Chapter 1, let's go. In this, Chapter 1, Exploring the Standard Library Further. In this chapter, we're going to learn categorizing the standard library function, working with container functions such as hash, preferring random access with iterative functions, working with algorithms such as find, creating random numbers with functors, working with utilities such as minimax, creating temporary buffers with alligators. Subscribe to KUSH KHU Shalik, I think, said hi. Well, okay, that's a fun way to put your name. Hi back to you. And Doug, Colin official, said hello. Well, hello. All right, here we go. Brett Nixon said, a like and subscribe for you. Oh, terrific. Thank you. Thank you, Brett. Okay. The standard library is one of the most important parts of the C++ developer's toolkit because it contains a host of interesting functions that let you write great applications. The standard library originally started as the standard template library, STL. Lightning Storm Gaming says, I love your channel. Thank you. Very glad that you love my channel. I don't really know if it's a channel, but still, very cool. And Britt Nixon says, I have 1,000 subscribers. That's good. That's awesome. Keep at it. The standard library originally started as the Standard Template Library (STL), and a number of companies, including Silicon Graphics Incorporated (SGI) and IBM, distributed it for everyone to use. The International Standards Organization (ISO) eventually took over STL, made a few minor changes to it, and renamed it the Standard Library. Consequently, when you see the STL online, don't get confused. It's merely an older version of the Standard Library. Rainerdina saying you have 2 subs. Right. Listen, well, okay, Rainerdina. Britt Nixon says, how many subscribers do you have? I guess, in referring to me. Last time I checked, 1,144. What that is currently right now, I'm not sure. Remember, for the purpose of this book, the differences between the standard library and the STL are so small that you can probably use the terms interchangeably. Just remember, and also, thank you, Renardina, for being here. Just remember that the standard library is newer and does contain some changes to make the various versions of the STL work together. In addition, the STL won't provide support for features such as polymorphic allocators and optional inputs. I really want to know what they're doing now, but we'll see. Britt Nixon says, I think I'll go live right now. Okay, please have a good life. And Britt Nixon said, hey, if you die in jail? No? Nobody's jail. This chapter provides an overview of the standard library and shows you some examples of how to use it. However, if we don't see what you want here, don't worry. We discuss more examples in later chapters, and you can always refer to the standard library documentation for additional examples. Before the chapter moves on to any examples, however, it's important to know that the standard library contains what the standard library contains. So the first section of this chapter provides you with a list of standard library functions, a list of standard library function categories. This is a book from copyrighted as of 2014. So it is 11 years old, so I'm sure there's information that is no longer in effect in this book, but still it's nice to read. Because some things could change and some things don't. That's kind of how computer science goes. Getting a copy of the standard library documentation. The standard library is incredibly large, so this book doesn't document it completely. The code blocks product doesn't come with a standard library reference either. However, to really use the standard library, you really do need a copy of the documentation. You can join the ISO for a bazillion bucks and get a copy of their document free, or purchase a copy of it from HTTP. I keep forgetting Nightbot. Oops. http://www.iso.org/home/store/catalog spelled CATALOGUE/ICS/catalog spelled CATALOGUE_detail_ICS period HTM CS number spelled NUMBER equals 50372. As an alternative, you can buy a copy of the standard library documentation from an ISO member such as the American National Standards Institute, ANSI, for a more reasonable sum. Check it out at http://webstore.ansi.org/ find standards with a capital F and a capital S, but everything, for standards, the star standards, but everything else is lowercase dot ASPX. Simply type ISO / IEC space 14882 :2011. If this is the year, it might be a more updated year. I don't know if it's enough to just say 14882 and hope that the most recent one pops up. It's possible. Either way, in the search field. Because the STL and the standard library are relatively close, you have a third alternative. Use an STL resource. One of the best written and easiest to use resources is from SGI at http://www.sgi.com/tech/STL/. The downside to using the STL documentation is that it doesn't contain information about newer features found only in the standard library. In addition to the resource mentioned so far, you'll want to check out Bajarn. I think Bajarn Strup's website at http://www.stroustrup.com/ otherwise known as hashtag standard. Just in case you don't know, he's the guy who designed and originally implemented C++. Ooh, fun. Considering the standard library categories. The standard library documentation uses a formal approach that you're going to find difficult to read and even hard to understand. It must have been put together by lawyers more interested in the precise meaning of words rather than the usability of the document. This 1,338-page tome in the current version requires, as of 2014, when this book was copyrighted, requires quite a bit of time to review. Fortunately, you don't have to wade through all the legal jargon mixed indiscriminately with computer jargon and the occasional bit of English. This chapter provides the overview you need to get going quickly. The best way to begin is to break the standard library into smaller pieces. You can categorize the standard library functions in a number of ways. One of the most common approaches is to use the following categories. Hi, gosh, it's cool, gosh, it's cool. Gosh, it's cool, gosh, it's cool. Seeing you back, the best teacher ever. Ah, that's kind of you to say. Containers, iterators, algorithms, functors. SGI color coding. The SGI website. Ooh, color coding is great. Gosh, it's cool, gosh, it's cool. Seeing I'm eating spinach for dinner. I would probably do that too, but as a salad, not so much cooked. Not to say there's anything wrong with cooked spinach time. I just haven't figured out how to put it in. It's much easier just making a salad with that. The SGI website at http://www.sgi.com/stl/stl/index_cat.html uses color coding to tell you about the content. Here are the categories you'll see and their associated color. I love color coding. It's a fun time. Gosh, sing. I'm just eating it because it's healthy, and Rainer says, be strong like Popeye and eat spinach. Hey, agreed. It is healthy. That's part of the reason I'm eating it too. Plus, I don't know where you shop, but I have Vons, which is a Safeway, I think. And they have the $5 big old thing of lettuce. I think is such a fun. And it's not in a bag, it's in a bin, so it keeps it fresher longer, which I think is yay. All the way on that one. Concept is red. Type is yellow. Function is green. Overview is purple. Oh, my apologies. The categories include containers, iterators, algorithms, fronters, utilities, adapters, allocators, polymorphic allocators. The following sections provide a brief description of each of these categories and tell what you can expect to find in them. Knowing the category can help you locate the function you need quickly on websites that use these relatively standard category names. Gosh, cool. Said, yeah, Popeye's Silverman, not Popeye's chicken. True. But you have to wonder how much of the decision of making the restaurant name had to do with that seller. Containers. Containers work just like the containers in your home. They hold something. You've already seen containers at work in other areas of this book. For example, both queues and DQs, or decks, are kinds of containers. The containers category doesn't contain any functions, but it does contain a number of types, including those in the following table. Basic underscore string. Bit underscore vector. Bit set. Char underscore producer. Deck. Hash. List. Map. Multi-map. Multi-set. Priority underscore queue. Queue. Rope. Don't know that one. Set. S-list. Stack. Vector. Iterators. Iterators enumerate something. When you create a list of items and then go through that list checking items off, you're enumerating the list. Using iterators helps you create lists of items and manipulate them in specific ways. The kind of iterator you create is important because some iterators let you go forward only. Some can go in either direction and some can choose items at random. Each kind of iterator has its specific purpose. The iterators category includes a number of types. These types determine the kind of iterator you create in your code and the capabilities of that iterator. The following is a list of the iterator types. And why not both the Popeyes spinach and the Popeyes restaurant, or a different thing, Regina? Back underscore insert underscore iterator, bidirectional underscore iterator, bidirectional underscore iterator underscore tag, forward underscore iterator, forward underscore iterator underscore tag, front underscore insert underscore iterator, input underscore iterator, input underscore iterator underscore tag, insert underscore iterator, iStream underscore iterator, iterator underscore traits, OStream underscore iterator, output underscore iterator, output underscore iterator underscore tag, random underscore access underscore iterator, random underscore access underscore iterator underscore tag, raw underscore storage underscore iterator, reverse underscore bidirectional underscore iterator, reverse underscore iterator, sequence underscore buffer. Oh, hi Hawaii, how are you doing? Reinhard Dina, why are you trying to... I don't want to say that, Reinhard Dina, plus I don't believe it anyway. The standard library also includes a number of iterator-specific functions. These functions help you perform tasks such as advance, increment the iterator by a certain number of positions. You can also measure the distance between the beginning and end of the iterator. The following is a list of iterator functions. Advance, distance underscore type, iterator underscore category, value underscore type, algorithms, Ooh. I think we're going to go through the rest of this section, and then we're going to stop just at parsing strings using a hash, because I am feeling hungry times. Algorithms. Algorithms perform data manipulations, such as replacing, locating, or sorting information. We've already seen some algorithms used in the book because it's hard to create a substantial application without using one. There aren't any types in an algorithms category. The following is a list of algorithm functions. Okay. Accumulate, adjacent underscore difference, adjacent underscore find, advance. Binary underscore search, copy. Copy underscore backward, copy underscore in, count. Count underscore if, distance, equal, equal underscore range, fill, fill underscore in, find, find underscore in, find underscore first underscore of. Find underscore if, for underscore each, generate. Generate underscore in includes inner underscore product, in place underscore merge, iota, is underscore keep, is underscore sorted, iter underscore swap, lexicographical underscore compare, lexicographical underscore compare, underscore three-way, lower underscore bound, make underscore heap, max, max underscore element, merge, min, min underscore element, mismatch, next underscore permutation, nth underscore element, partial underscore sort, partial underscore sort underscore copy, partial underscore sum, partition, pop underscore heap, power, pref underscore permutation, push underscore heap, random underscore sample, random underscore sample underscore in, random underscore shuffle, remove, remove underscore copy, remove underscore copy underscore if, remove underscore if, replace, replace underscore copy, replace underscore copy underscore if, replace underscore if, reverse, reverse underscore copy, rotate, rotate underscore copy, search, search underscore in, set underscore difference, set underscore intersection, set underscore symmetric underscore difference, set underscore union, sort, sort underscore heap, stable underscore partition, stable underscore sort, swap, swap underscore ranges, transform, uninitialized underscore copy, uninitialized underscore copy underscore n, uninitialized underscore fill, uninitialized underscore fill underscore n, unique, unique underscore copy, upper underscore bound. Functors. Functors are a special class of object that acts as if it's a function. In most cases, you call a functor by using the same syntax you use for a function. But functors possess all the good elements of objects as well, such as the ability to instantiate them at runtime. See Book 4, Chapter 7 for an example of using a functor in this way. Functors come in a number of forms. For example, a binary function functor accepts two arguments as input and provides the result as output. Functors include a number of types that determine the kind of function the code creates, as shown in the following table. Binary underscore compose, binary underscore function, binary underscore negate. Binder first, binder second, divides, equal underscore 2, greater, greater underscore equal, hash, identity, less, less underscore equal, logical underscore and, logical underscore not, logical underscore or, mem underscore fun 1 underscore ref underscore t, mem underscore fun 1 underscore t, mem underscore fun underscore ref underscore t, mem underscore fun underscore t, minus, modulus, multiplies, negate, not underscore equal underscore 2, plus, pointer underscore 2 underscore binary underscore function, pointer underscore 2 underscore unary underscore function, project first, project second, select first, select second, subtractive underscore RNG, unary underscore compose, unary underscore function, unary underscore negate. The functors category contains only one function, ptr underscore fun. This function accepts a function pointer as input and outputs a function pointer adapter, which is a kind of function object. You use ptr underscore fun when you need to pass a function as input to another function, such as transform. Here is an example of such code, as found in the functor underscore ptr underscore fun example. Hashtag include iostream, hashtag include math.h, hashtag include x / functional, hashtag include algorithm, using namespace std, using namespace underscore gnu underscore cxx, int main const int n equals 10 double an fill a comma a plus n comma 100 c out a0 inline, transform a comma a plus n comma a comma compose 1 negate double pointer underscore fun fabs, which is floating point absolute value, c out e0 inline return 0. Ample begins by creating a constant that determines the number of elements in the array A. The code then fills every element in A with the value 100 and displays just one of those elements on screen. The tricky part comes next. The transform algorithm accepts the beginning of an input iterator, the end of an input iterator, an output iterator, and the transformation you want to perform. The transform algorithm takes each of the values in the input iterator, performs the transformation to request it, and places the result in the output iterator. In this case, the code uses the non-standard SGI functor compose 1, which takes two adaptable unary functions as input. Because fabs is a standard function, you must use ptr underscore fun, then a pair of parentheses. The result is that A contains the negation of the absolute value of the original value in A, or negative 100, when the transformation is complete. When you run this example, you see the following output. $100 and then negative 100. Remember, the GNU GCC compiler supports a number of SDL features that don't appear as part of the standard library. In this case, compose 1 appears in the x / functional header, so you must provide the hashtag include x underscore functional line of code. In addition, because compose1 is non-standard, it appears as part of a different namespace. Consequently, you must also provide the using namespace underscore underscore GNU underscore CXX line of code to access the functor without having to precede it with the namespace information. Warning: many C++ examples rely on the non-standard parts of STL to perform tasks. If you want maximum compatibility and transportability for your code, you should avoid these non-standard features. Utilities. Utilities are functions and types that perform small service tasks within the standard library. The functions are min, max, and relational operators. The types are chart underscore traits, the traits of characters used in other standard library features, such as basic underscore string, and pair, a pairing of two heterogeneous values. Adapters. Adapters perform conversions of a sort. They make it possible to adapt one kind of data to another. In some cases, adapters perform data conversions, such as negating numbers. The adapters category includes one function, ptr underscore fun, which is explained in the functors section of the chapter. In addition, the adapters category includes the types shown in the following table. Back underscore insert underscore iterator, binary underscore compose, binary underscore negate, binder first, binder second, front underscore insert underscore iterator, insert underscore iterator, mem underscore fun1 underscore ref underscore t, mem underscore fun1 underscore t, mem underscore fun underscore ref underscore t, mem underscore fun underscore t, pointer underscore 2 underscore binary underscore function, pointer underscore 2 underscore unary underscore function, priority underscore q, raw underscore storage underscore iterator, reverse underscore bidirectional underscore iterator, reverse underscore iterator, sequence underscore buffer, stack, unary underscore compose, unary underscore negate, allocators. Allocators manage resources, normally memory. In most cases, you won't ever need to use the members of the allocators category. For example, you normally create new objects using the new operator. The new operator allocates memory for the object and then creates it by calling the object's constructor. In rare cases, such as when you want to implement a form of object pooling, you may want to separate the memory allocation process from the construction process. In this case, you call construct to perform the actual task of constructing the object based on its class definition. The allocators category has the following functions. Construct, destroy, get underscore temporary underscore buffer, return underscore temporary underscore buffer, uninitialized underscore copy underscore in, uninitialized underscore fill underscore in. The allocators category also includes a couple of types. These types help you manage memory, and you may find more use for them than you will the functions in this category. The types are raw underscore storage underscore iterator, temporary underscore buffer, polymorphic allocators. When working, coming up to the end of this stream, polymorphic allocators. When working with older versions of the standard library allocators use as arguments. Yeah. When working with older versions of the standard library, allocators used as arguments to templates create problems because they're bound by type. What this means is that a vector created using standard : vector int is a completely different type from the vector created using standard : vector int, myalloc, even though one is simply an extension of the other. The myalloc part of the template simply defines the method using the method used to allocate memory. It doesn't actually affect the type of data managed by the types. Yeah. The myalloc part of the template simply defines the method used to allocate memory. It doesn't actually affect the type of data managed by the template. So in both cases, you're created a vector to hold, I think they meant you've created a vector to hold int data. The types are the same. The only difference is the method in which memory is allocated. The first uses standard memory allocation techniques, while the second uses a custom allocator. Using polymorphic allocators eliminates this problem by defining an abstract base memory class, memory_resource, to use for all memory allocators. This abstract class defines the following pure virtual methods. Yay, that's good to know. Definitely want to. I had a little practice doing templates back when I was doing. Oh, hello there, Lexi Bear. How are you doing? Allocate, deallocate is _equal. But yeah, when I was doing advanced object-oriented programming, so it's very helpful to be able to make templates. That's what I learned. Technical stuff. In order to use this new feature in code __ blocks, you must enable support for C++11 extensions using the technique found in the configuring the IDE section of book 4, chapter 6. In addition, you must use a version of code ::blocks that supports C++14 because older versions won't include the required resources such as header files. To add support for this feature, you must. Achiever says good, and you, and thank you for asking. Also, glad you're well, but yes, I'm doing good. Thank you. Hashtag include polymorphic _allocator and add using namespace standard : polyalloc. And on that note, we are all done with reading time today for C++ on for Dummies. We are on page 691. I'm going to finish at the end of that when I start up again. And just a reminder, this is the very last book of this entire book, so book 6 of 6, and the last page for the chapters is page 781. 781, and then from there goes into the appendix. So we're in page 7, so we're less than 100 pages from being done with this book, as far as all the chapters. Oh, I just keep doing that. Sorry, my neighbor. Okay, so Meridian says that Lexi Bear can beat Becky in rock, paper, scissors. I mean, yes, that's almost guaranteed. Kind of hard to play rock, paper, and scissors when you have time lags and latency and things like that. Okay, so 7-Eleven. Okay, cool. Go to September, 5 minutes. I need to go eat something. 5 minutes to close the chat. 5 minutes starting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now. What do I want to eat? The questions I have. Ooh, I could see. Oh, that's right. I have to eat chicken nuggets. Hi, Hawaii. I saw you earlier and said hello, but maybe I wasn't being loud and clear enough. Sorry about that. Okay, chicken nuggets. That's definitely what I will eat. Okay, and I could do some. What I want to do? Ooh, oh, some corn. That was quick enough. Okay, great. Chicken nuggets and corn. And of course the side salad, because I do like my side salads. And then still looking for chats. I see how I said hi. Hi again. Wait. You have to go to bed? That's a good thing to do. You should please go get some sleep. I'll be glad to see you later in the future when you are awake again. That'd be good. In the meantime, have some good sleep, please. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Bye-bye. Yeah, chicken nuggets, corn, salad, and pasta sounds good. Maybe macaroni. That seems doable. That's so funny. I just learned that one of my grandmas. She doesn't like rice. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I try to mix things up with rice and pasta and potatoes like each week. So even if I don't get rice a lot, it's not something I'm anyway. Mr. Odding said hi. Hi, Mr. Odding. Ryan says Hawaii has to go to bed. It's like 4 in the afternoon there, or whatever. Renardina, I don't know. I don't ask. I have weird schedules myself sometimes. I usually specify if I need to take a nap, but you know. Also, I'm not one to talk because I have crazy wake up times sometimes myself. So again, the plan is closing the stream down, going to eat something, coming back for improv dance time for Saturday Dance Break Live, gonna do some NCS, and then if I feel it, then I'm looking forward to at least 1 hour of Kingdom Hearts time. I'm considering trying to get some additional coffee time in, but I think instead of coffee time, I'll just stick with the Diet Coke or something. I don't like to overdo the coffee too much. And I already had to do extra coffee time yesterday. Mr. Odding said, nice. I'll stay up. Okay, if you feel like it. Just depends on what you're, like I was saying to Ryan earlier, it's like, I'm going to try to stay up and play as long as I can tonight because I can sleep in tomorrow. Like that's the biggest, whether or not I could sleep in the next day is the biggest factor in how late I could stay up the night before. That's all there is to it. So yeah, if you can just sleep in tomorrow and you want to stay up, please, you're welcome to. I'm looking forward to getting done with the pirate ship and going from there. But yeah, I very much love some Kingdom Hearts time if nobody else wants to check it out. So far, of all the things that I do here at Becky828, that seems to be like the least popular, which is surprising because I'm like so into it, but maybe that's why. Just being geeking out a little too hardcore on that. But hey, it's awesome to spend some time geeking out with C for Dummies. I'm looking forward to getting into coding time, so I'll be geeking out hardcore when I finally get back to coding. It's been a while. Britt Nixon. said, shout out to me. All right, shout out to you, Britt Nixon. Shouting out, yo. On that note, that's called time. I'm a hungry lady. I'm gonna go do something about that, and I'll come back later for Saturday Dance Break Live NCS edition. Thank you so much, Britt Nixon. I know, right? But that is gonna be just me, myself, and I. I don't really feel like going through all the additional steps of having to stream that. I do stream those on occasion, but sometimes it just doubles the time it takes to do things. And I don't feel like doing that today. I already got a late start. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dang. Thank you, Ryan Ardina. Looking forward to seeing you again later on. We're still streaming again later on tonight. And Mr. Auding. And you too. For next time, if you have some time available. And also Lexi Bear. Thank you, Lexi Bear. Thank you, School. You too, of course. Thank you, Lightning Storm Gaming. Thank you, Duck_official. Thank you, subscribe to KHU Shelly. And thank you to anyone I may have missed, and thank you to anyone who checked this out in the future. Okay. I won't forget Becky and me, myself, and I. I'll Becky, me, myself, Becky, and I, Becky. Alrighty. Sounds like a plan. That being said, I'm drooling a little too much, and I need to do a lot more eating and talking. So, let me get something prepared quickly and eat quickly, and moving on. Ooh, cheeseburger. Okay, let's not get my Homer time in. Although I should bring that shirt out sometime in the future. That was a fun shirt. That is a fun shirt, I should say. But that being said, I need food time. I am going full Homer mode right now, and I'm trying to keep it together here. So let me not get too embarrassing here. But yes, Renardina, big step forward. Just get her done. It's good that you went in. It's good that you got half of the work done. Get the other half done. And let's just both be better at making sure that we get that 6 months in, or at least nothing too crazy. Like, oof. No, it shouldn't be years and years. I know that part. Alright, thank you so much. To anyone who might check this in the future, and whenever, wherever, however, whatever, just make the most of it. That's the most important part. Bye.